Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, it depends on wherever you're watching us from this morning. It's a very pleasant Saturday morning. You're welcome to another interesting episode of the show. The show is Morning Ride. It is the longest running television magazine show. And it is coming to you live from NTA 2, Victoria Island, Lagos. This morning, I am your host. My name is Yinka Kenny. Kazim, wow, I sent him to go and visit the Queen for me this morning. I'm sure I'm going to be missing him on the show, and I'm sure a lot of you out there also will miss Kazim as well on the show this morning. But then this morning we're going to be doing this together, you and myself. As usual, you know that we have so much packed up for you on the show. But before we go on in the show, you know that we like to start your weekend in a groovy manner, because sure, we know that we are your weekend starters. However, right now, I want you to sit back and listen to this musical we are bringing to you this morning. This morning, we are giving you Two Face, featuring Bongo Sikwe, and he will be singing Searching for us this morning. Sit back and watch.
Yeah. Richie. Yeah. I've been searching for a woman. We're gonna make all this nonsense start to make sense. I've been searching all kind of places, yeah. Some many ladies, different races. And I almost gave up on love, get my heart retired. So many failed relationships got me sick and tired. It could be me, it could be she, but it must scatter. Now I know, I found my forever. I'm on a no fit holler, I know fit shout. Back it up my girl, she too get mouth. All I get friends, them they use her for clout. Gentlemen, she they turn them to doubt. I put club that do not come cover. Eba no lego male o igwa. Smile not die, I dance not fire. African queen, Wachanya neo. Long time ago, I was searching, but I found, you know, Eli Hotu Tokano, and Yahweh Hotu, Yahweh Mane.
And this year is coming with a theme, Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Today we'll be talking about the future of the Nigerian woman in politics. And the guest is here in the studio, but I won't unveil my guest right now. I'm going to show you a picture frame. Please stay tuned and watch. intimidating profile there. Yes, I'm proud to be a woman, and I'm proud to know that women are doing great things, and women could also be so much educated. My guest this morning, she's a professional accountant. She's got vast experience in public and private sector and she's somebody that has really mingled with the masses, providing succor for people where necessary. It will amaze you to also know that she owns a football club. Yes, there's a woman doing that. And naturally, she should be involved in politics. But then, we're talking about the future of Nigerian women in politics this morning. In the studio with me, I have Chief Mrs. Raliat Anako Abdusalam. She's the Vice President of Involving Women in Politics. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister. How are you this morning?
I'm very well. Good to have you here. And I must say you're looking smashed.
And I'm very excited, just like you too.
Welcome, welcome. Yes, women in politics. It's been all the noise about women, and women. Now, I realize that year in, year out, because this morning we will be focusing, we're celebrating International Women's Day, right? But we will be focusing mainly on our own environment. This is Nigeria, and Nigerian women, that's what we're talking about. Now, year in, year out, we are always talking about women participation in politics. Now we are definitely in another electioneering year. My question to you this morning is that all the noise we keep talking about year in, year out, will I say it's just a campaign gimmick, or is it a campaign gimmick, or is it really, a serious topic? Or better put, is it achievable?
That is what your question is very pregnant because
I want you to deliver.
It's very unfortunate that at this point in time in Nigeria, I mean, the legislators in the House of Assembly, we vote nil to all those bills that have been passed for women participation, affirmative action, as much as the indigenization of their spouse's state, as much as when a young girl marries and the husband can be a citizen. So when you listen to that and you see those kind of bills being formed, you see that we've been set back several years.
Exactly.
Because if you look at the world today, the stage is open for women participation. And in a community where women are supposed to be more than men, you would expect that the Nigerian legislators will look at the fact that we should be involved in also making the laws of our country. So it was very disappointing when those bills came out, because we have been agents of, trying to involve women in politics, in governance, and pushing women outside there, advocating, having these talks with different women. And then you wake up one morning, these legislators that were put in place by the same women, they don't want to be part of the affirmative action and part of governance, and they sit down there and vote that. Two-thirds majority of them are in the ruling party now. So why are we using one side of the mouth to discuss with women in the nation? But when you need the votes and everything, we are there, pushing forward, advocating for you, talking about you to the masses, and trying to promote. We are loyal to the men.
So now let me take it from where you said women, they have been set back since many years ago. We see that so many waters has gone under the bridge. Do you think that that can be remedied? Or do you think that it's just...
It can. That's why we are taking the rounds to advocate, because bills that were being passed can be reversed. The National Assembly can go back and then reverse those bills. And I'm going to charge the legislators' wives and sisters and mothers. Maybe the next time they are going to sit to vote on those kind of bills, they should all be present in the House.
Oh, wow.
We're all allowed to be there when things are happening. A lot of people don't know that every citizen is allowed in the House to be part of whatever is happening in the country. So I think it is now that we should realize that if you are sitting down there to vote on a bill for a woman, you should look up and see your wife in the crowd, your sisters, your mothers, your friends that are women watching you to say no to bills that can help put the nation forward. So, and then we have to be proactive. I mean, I've seen all over now marches everywhere, protests everywhere, and that's to show you that women are getting it now. people are aware. Unlike before, when bills are passed, nobody knows. Exactly. Until you are in one trouble, that's when you realize, oh, this law was passed in 1999, on 2000 on this. You start looking at yourself. But now people are aware. Social media has made it very possible to advocate to women. And we don't want the next generation of women to be timid, because, of course, in our set, a lot of us are more timid than outspoken, because when you are outspoken, you are looked at the troublemaker, you know, and the aggressive one. It's just that you think that things should be done properly. If more than half of your population are women, according to the statistics that we have, even all over the world, why shouldn't we be part of the laws that promote the country?
So let me ask you now, what do you think is really working against the Nigerian woman?
Well, a lot of people say women are not to be trusted, women, they talk too much, women fight themselves, they don't promote themselves. But I actually hardly believe in all that, you know, because I believe that all women want is an opportunity to prove themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And I know the men take advantage of our makeup, our compassionate nature, our emotional nature, which is something that makes us maybe sometimes behave irrationally in making decisions. But I don't think at this stage and at this time there should be anything hindering us. If all people think, I put inverted commas, is our gossip, our jealousy, those are things we can easily overcome. It's not something that is it's written on a piece of paper. And if you give a woman a chance, all a woman wants to do in any position is to prove themselves that I can do this like a man, if not better. So I don't know what the fear is with our men. So for women, we just need to continue to educate ourselves right from the home. I would say that if you have daughters, you train them to be courageous, not to be timid, and to avoid talk that will not promote other women or promote others, in short. So those are the things that majorly, because if you look at education, more women are educated than men. More women are more exposed. You see more women fighting to get a doctorate degree, even if they are sit-at-home wives. So I don't understand why there should be a disadvantage for women in any climb.
Okay, you talked about, will I call it characteristics of women, or women being, women at times we gossip, we're quarrelsome, well, quote and unquote now. These things seems to be the nature of the natural African woman, or women in general. But can you now say that with all of this, do you think we can actually, take the position, the leadership position? Do you think with all of this, does that make us really ready?
I'm surprised.
Do you think we're ripe for that?
Of course. Look at the banking industry. We have 5 CEOs that are women, and those banks have not failed, have they? So I want us to erase the fact that we've not reached the paths where we can prove ourselves well in leadership roles. Even if you look at the history of the world, let's take Europe for example. Look at Angela Merkel, the past president of Germany. She's done excellently well. At a point, she was ruling the whole of Europe. She was the standpoint for everything that the West was doing at a point. So what are we talking about? We are ripe enough to do that. If we are past the stage of you can't send the female child to school, then we have also passed the stage of so many things. Do
you actually think that we have passed that stage? Because yes, a lot of things are drastically changing in the southern western part of the country. Let's go down to the northern part of the country. We still have the Almajiri, and we know that most of those that are shortchanged are the girls. We still have in farther part of Nigeria. Do you think we have really overcome that stage?
Well, it's a work in progress. If you want to go to the north and you talk about education generally, I don't think it affects only the female child. I think it affects every child in the north.
But most importantly, you find out that in those, even some part of the southern part of the country, you still find them giving children, girls to teenage marriage, giving them out as teenagers, as to be wives. They still believe that, no, you're going to answer somebody's name, so you don't have to go to school and all whatnot. So do you think
we're all answering people's names? I'm from Kogi State. I'm from Kogi State. I schooled very much in the north. I went to ABU Zaria. And in school, when I was in ABU, there are lots of northern girls be studying different courses, going for masters. I have best friends that are chartered now, and they all grew up in that system. So I think that education-wise, it's not only the girl child, it's the community where even the parents are not educated. So they cannot even see a future for their children being educated. So that we should not make it a female problem in the north. We should make it an exposure problem. And once they see similar northern women taking very important positions in the country, making decisions for states and for so many things, it will just, the bulb will just go on in their minds that if I allow my child, if they have mentors they look up to, women that have achieved a lot, if I allow my child sitting down here to get this education, she might just be the next finance minister, she might just be the next humanitarian minister, she might not be the next FCT minister for Abuja, she might be the next governor of the state. So we that are in the front should be decent role models, irrespective of where we are from. Just knowing the fact that when we fight for our rights now, the children coming and the nation as a whole, we start to see girls and the girl child in a bigger light of achieving things that they thought were impossible.
So how do you think that the average woman can be enlightened? And why I say so is that you realize that in most cases, when women come out to, you know, for leadership position, you find out that they, most often than not, they do not have women that will be there for them, to be their voices, to, you know, support them. So why, what do you think?
Okay, and there's a lot of factors. Finance is one of the factors. And then the factor of that brotherhood in politics. So if you look at the politics in Nigeria, for example, you know, the men they click together, they band together, and they promote themselves that way.
So why can't we not do that?
Finance. Most women are conscious of their financial status, and they are conscious of their nest egg. They don't want to waste the little funds they have saved over time for them to exploit something they think will not come out fine. Just look at what has happened lately. If those laws were signed in, 35% for women, affirmative action for women in political roles and all that, and 35% in the National Assembly and House of Assemblies, it will encourage women to come out. The financial thing now takes a sit back. If I want to run in my state now, I'm already seeing the hurdles that I'm going to pass through of these men who have formed a clique and a brotherhood, and they see you as an outsider. So I'm a risk now. For anybody to invest in me and say, okay, I'll push you forward, I'll do this for you, it becomes very complicated. They'll rather do the brotherhood thing that was in existence. So laws like this would have, by force or by not, encourage more women. So because they know there's a competition. There were committees that were formed to pass these bills.
Definitely. Of
those same legislators.
Definitely.
So they knew that these were the hiccups along the line for the few women that got to that seat. If we make a law, it opens the door. It doesn't mean that we will even get 35% of those women on that seat. Exactly. But what it does is open the doors and gives a woman more confidence that even if I spend my nest egg, if I want to go for a political position, I have a chance because of this bill, not because of the cliques that have already been formed politically.
Okay, let me try and be the devil's advocate here. Yes, talking for the men now. We are asking for 35%, in governance, in the political seats. And if we are talking about equity, we're talking about equal right for the man and for the woman. And so to speak, the man goes to the poll just like the woman is going to the poll. So what are we talking about here?
Look, women. I'm going to address this to the women.
All right, I like that.
Women, it's time we bond together.
Exactly.
Let's come together and support ourselves. I mean, my organization involving women in politics, it doesn't mean we're not going to support the men, but we're not going to be used as tools for the men. And when it's time to promote a woman, then we have a step back because we're not going to make money. I'm just trying to tell you, we're not going to make money, we won't get that exposure if we line up behind the woman. So women, please, I'm begging. I mean, these actions we need to be careful the actions that we take now, because it's going to affect our future generation. Exactly. So we need to do whatever we can to reverse some of these bills. We need to do whatever we can to continue to advocate to other women that it's time that women take. But you said equality, 35% is not 50%. So we're even trying to get 1/3 of whatever positions there are in Nigeria. And I don't see why it's impossible, because women given positions, they do a lot better than men. It's there. It's in the history, even of this country.
Yeah, you're trying.
The few women that have gotten up to that zenith, they keep growing. Exactly. They keep growing outside our climes, outside Nigeria. They are respected. They are respectable. They've been able to do a lot. So I don't know why there's this fear for our men. The most annoying part of that bill, let's even forget leadership position, was the fact that if I marry a foreigner, my husband will not be given citizenship. Where in the world is that law done? Where? Most of our kids, they traveled out to study, then they married Americans, they married so many different people. Automatically, they become citizens, and they still fight for you, the parents in Nigeria, to have opportunity to get to dual citizenship. They fight for their siblings to have the opportunity to get. Then in small Nigeria like this, we'll now say, put that in as a law, threatening the future of our children, their love lives. That is very disheartening. As much as we're looking at politics, we need to look at the overall picture of what is happening. Yes. Are they trying to intimidate us women? So women need to get up. This is our time. I know that is a long walk, but if I have more of me, more of you, that gave an opportunity to have this talk, more of me that is ready to talk, that is ready to advocate, you can imagine what will happen.
Yes, we know that is a long way to go. Like, let me use your words. It's a long work. But do you honestly think there is a future in all of this?
Yes, there is. We keep getting at it. Maybe to get to a stage, we tell women that don't go and dance and beat drums for any male politician. I mean, don't vote for them. You understand what I'm saying? Rally around any woman that you think is strong enough to fight with them for positions. And maybe by the time we get those kind of ideology between women in different female groups, we start to have that conversation. Because we don't want to go there. We don't want to get to a situation where we look down at women that support men politically. We just want to have that opportunity to also express ourselves. So if we have to go to that level, where we start to discourage women from supporting men politically, maybe at that time they would listen. And if truly our votes count when election takes place, maybe at that time, then the men will listen.
Okay, because of our time, the time is fast gone. I would want to ask a question that was asked in the papers this morning while you are rounding off your thoughts, and while you'll be telling us, how really, we can as women break these barriers. Where did we get it wrong? How did we get here? How did it deteriorate this much? Well, in the paper this morning, the question is, who actually failed Nigerian women? Is it culture, tradition, or the lawmakers?
Well, can I say culture and tradition was the starting point. Let's not deceive ourselves. If you watch or listen or read books about our culture and tradition, in those days, men marry women to be laborers in the farm. The more wives you have, the wealthier you are. And then to breed their kids and train them, and then they take advantage of all the profits you bring in. Exactly. So you can imagine that. And then some religion has been misinterpreted over time, that a woman is supposed to be laid back. I'm a Muslim. Some people have that ideology. But they kept forgetting that the Prophet himself married Khadija, alayhi salam, that Khadija was a wealthy woman and was a businesswoman who helped her husband. That's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you can see there's a lot of contradictions in our beliefs. So that has started already, that custom and tradition. But I believe that
we can break the barrier.
Yes, we can break the barrier. And for the legislators to sit there, I mean, they shouldn't have allowed the culture and tradition to enter into their thinking of passing a bill for women that also supported them to get there. They need to start seeing what is happening around the world, how women have made successes. Give us a chance. Give us an opportunity.
Yeah,
Look,
give
if there were 2/3 of women in that house and those bills were passed, do you think it wouldn't have gone through? It would have. So let's give women a chance. Please give us a chance. It's very, very, very important.
All right. I wanted you to say something to Nigerian women, but the way you just round up, or you still want to say something to Nigerian women?
No, what I would say is that women, I know most of us are scared individually to speak up or to do things for ourselves. So look for organizations around you that advocate for women independence, advocate for women in governance and leadership, and that empower women. Try and join organizations. Try and be part of the movement. Don't sit back and look and think that change will happen when you watch other women do it. We are not different from ourselves. We are the same. We have the same makeup. So if you know you want to be part of it, my organization is one that advocates for women. Join organizations. Try to even form your own. Small drops of water make an ocean. So form your own group of women advocacy. Try and lend a hand to another woman. And that is the advice I'll give the Nigerian woman.
Thank you very, very much. You will agree with me this morning that it's been very, very interesting, educative with Chief Mrs. Raliat Anako Abdusalam this morning. She is the Vice President of Evolving Women in Politics. She has said it all. Women out there, do not just sit back and expect something to happen. It's not a rocket science. Go out. Start in your own little way. Little drops of water, she has said, makes an ocean. Thank you very much this morning for being my guest.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. We're talking once again about music and youth in Nigeria. We're talking about empowerment. Empowerment, empowerment, empowerment. This word, it has been used severally. And we know that when we talk about being empowered, we're talking about somebody being independent. It could be maybe through a knowledge or some sort of job or vocation. But how about empowering the youth of this nation? Many are already good at what they do, but they have no means of turning it into a means to change their fortunes. This morning we'll be talking about music as a tool of empowerment for Nigerian youth. My guest is in the studio. You know that, as usual, I like to bring his picture frame before I unveil my guest. Stay tuned and watch his picture frame. Welcome back. Music is an integral part of Nigerian culture. Today, Nigerian youth, a lot of them are embracing music. Is it making their future, or is it something that is going to mar their future as we see today? Discussing with me in the studio is a banker, yes, an economist, and it's also a lecturer. Now, a gospel musician. His name is Austin Adigwe. Did I get that?
Yeah, you got it.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
I had to, when I was giving the introduction, I talked about youth. Almost, if you pick 10 of our youth today, you find out that about 7 of them are going into music now. You as a person, I realize that you are a banker, you are an economist, and to top it all, you are a lecturer, and still you do music. I realize that today a lot of youth, they abandon, education for music. Why is this so?
Okay, you see, music reinforces, okay, ideas, emotions, okay, through rhythm, harmonies, and so on and so forth. We tend to focus so much on the end product of music because it's actually like a flow chart. Starts from production, some are even videographers, before the end product that comes on your screen or you listen to on the radio. So there are certain aspects of this flow that requires some level of education. You just cannot skip it. For example, to be a keyboardist, you should be able to read and write before you can handle that instrument. And there are some other complex instruments also, okay, that people now have so much dependency on for livelihood. Okay. Those ones require some level of education. So that's the science of music. Now, you also have this part that has to do with vocalization. All right? Okay. I'm created, I'm endowed, I can sing fluently, I can sing well, I'm creative, I can put together words, and it becomes an idea that I wish to promote. Okay, so if you are now looking at that aspect, that you can sing doesn't necessarily mean you must go to school anyway. So some make that mistake, believing that, well, I can sing, so I really don't need education. Okay. And some have also succeeded through that process.
Okay, let me cut your thought a bit now. You talked about some musical instrument like the keyboard. Yeah. I know I have a little bit of knowledge about music theory, and I know that I can understand what you are talking about. Now, today you realize that we can make music even without the instruments. Do you think that technology has added to what we have out there, making youth abandon education for music?
Well, yeah, I totally agree that digitally you can create sounds, okay, that will be acceptable. You see, the problem we have is bigger than what we are picturing in the music industry. There is total loss of value. We have missed it as a people, as a society. So the young ones are looking up to some stars in this music space. They see them, they flaunt their wealth, okay, they travel all over the country and all over the world. Okay, so because we do not have value, somebody is not thinking of what I will do to add value to the society. You're just looking at, okay, if I jump into one studio, I'm able to put together one beat, drop it, and God help me, people like it. I could actually, let me use the word, I could actually blow and also begin to make money. So that's our thought process. And that's also, that can be traced to the moral decadence in the society. So the youths are only trying to survive. They're only trying to survive. Going to school shouldn't have been a kind of privilege. It should be something that is given. You are a Nigerian, you should be educated to a certain level, okay, that empowers you. That you should be able to stand, take decisions, you should be confident, be strategic about what you do.
Okay, you talked about stars. I'll come back to that. But before we go on, I want our viewers to see some of your musical work. So stay tuned and sit back, relax as we show you some of his work, the works he has done.
struggle for survival. Yahweh, you will answer me today. Yahweh, you will answer me today. Yahweh, you will answer me today.
You will answer me today. Oh, beautiful. Honestly, I was saying off camera that I hope he's not taking me into the spiritual realm. That was really, really beautiful and inspirational song. Well done, well done. We just hope that our youth can begin to make more meaningful music. Yes, not necessarily Christian music, but we're talking about meaningful music.
That speaks to morals.
Exactly. Now talking about meaningful music, you talked about stars, you know, because people will always have role model, people will always have people they look up to. Do you not think that the decadence we have today within the youth, do you not think that the ready-made stars are contributing to this factor?
Well, you know,
because you see them, they go on social media, they make public a whole lot of things that, you know, about, you know, their wealth and all what not.
Okay, you see, music is part of entertainment, and entertainment is showbiz. So I may not totally attribute the moral decadence to the show-offs you have on social media, because as a youth, you should be able to drive your own narrative.
Good.
That somebody has a G-Wagon, that somebody has a 2024 model of a car does not mean you must own it tomorrow. Remember, that person that is showing off this wealth is also not showing you how he struggled from nothing. He rose through the ranks.
Exactly.
He cultivated. Now he's harvesting and he's happy. So, but we just think that we can harvest before we cultivate. So that's the problem. So the stars, they've also walked their tours. The fact is this, and maybe the reason why that is very prevalent on social media is I've come to realize that people don't help when their help, is really needed. They want to give assistant help when such help becomes popular. Okay, so you find a star today when he was struggling for relevance, for visibility. Okay, he struggles through the streets. Those that could actually help, not necessarily money, but just to give connection, give networking,
exactly.
they will not be willing to do so. Then suddenly there's a breakthrough. There's a breakthrough. The same person you did not even want to have his or her music on your phone, you are now willing to go and give all the support that is needed. Meanwhile, at that point, he doesn't need that support anymore. So the stars, they have their own reasons why they also flaunt their wealth. But it is for those of us that are looking at what they are doing to understand that, yes, this is the time for their own harvest.
Okay, because of our time, considering the fact that you are a professional in your own, in your own place, and you still do music.
Yeah.
Talking about empowering the youth of today through music, do you think music can really empower the youth? Music
is doing that and will continue to do so. Quite a number of instrumentalists are engaged by churches. Some play in concerts and they get paid. Some are on monthly pay, some are on weekly pay. So if you do useful and creative music, it empowers you financially. Okay, a lot of the youths too play for these stars. Okay, when they go out for events and they get paid. So it's a good source of empowering the youth if it is well channeled.
Now I want to ask you a personal question now. your journey into music and your educational journey, which came first, academics or music, or they were simultaneously? Because I can see that you also play the instruments.
Yeah. Okay, so I had passion for music, but I didn't go into music at this scale at first. I just knew I needed to. I also have so much love for education, so I just knew I had to finish my education, be financially independent, stable.
Now you are saying that.
Yes, yes. Before going to, because music is expensive. Let's not.
Everything. There seems to be no profession, if you want to do it on your own, that is not expensive.
Exactly. So if you must be successful in doing music, you must be able to push your project or your vision to a significant level that can actually attract others to come in and help. To produce music is money. To do your video is money. It's not cheap.
So let me ask you, now that you have arrived, is it paying the bills?
Well, for me, my music is a way of giving back. I call it a way of giving back. So I'm not focusing on the financial gains. If God blesses me financially through music, beautiful. But my target is to win souls for God, because I was never supposed to be here. It was never written. It was not in the script. So, but with God Factor, I am where I am today. So I believe there are millions of Nigerians, there are millions of youths that are also struggling, okay, even to find that substance that will give them the assurance that, yes, you can even see the four walls of a school. So what do? They give up. I just want you to know that I was once in that position. But you must keep asking and keep acting. Ask from God and act, because you must play your own part. It's not enough to just tell God, please, I want to be a lawyer, and from 1 year to the other, you will not write JAMB. Exactly. How then are you going to get into school and actualize your dreams? So focus on God, but play your own parts, follow your dreams, and you get there.
Okay, a little word, you've spoken to the youth of youth today, a little word for the ready-made stars also, because I want to believe that they have a lot of role to play in all of this.
Yes. Well, majority of them are doing wonderfully well, okay? If I may mention name, you saw what happened the last time Davido had his birthday. It was a selfless gift, okay? Mobilizing such huge amount of money, okay, and giving to the needy. And quite a number of them also do so, but you can always do more, because we have quite a number of people that still need your help.
Yes, thank you very much. This morning we've been talking about empowering youth through music. That's music as a tool of empowerment for the Nigerian youth. And he has said to every youth out there, please do your part. And to every ready-made star there, you can always do more. Thank you very much, Austin Adigwe.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Right now, we want to go on to the next segment of the show. Tolani is somewhere in the building. She's ready to give us lifestyle and nutrition. Please sit back and enjoy what Tolani has got for us today.
Is one thing, but to eat intelligently is the very heart of nutrition. My name is Talani Fashion. You are Nutrition Gist Media Queen from the Savage Line, and this is a health, nutrition, lifestyle segment, and the beautiful, unique program Morning Ride. And also, we'll be talking about something very, very beautiful. But before I do, I'd like to drop this very beautiful quote. It says, every food you eat is either feeding a poison in your body or feeding life in your body. So you got to choose. Either you're feeding poison daily or you're feeding health daily. All right. knowing that we will soon be entering into that World Cancer celebration. The whole month of February, from the beginning of February, okay, towards this end of January, but basically from the beginning of February, we have the World Cancer Awareness. And this is not just about colon cancer, this is not just about breast cancer, this is not about prostate cancer, this is about all cancers. And in that light, I feel it is good for us to educate ourselves about what cancer is. What are types of cancer, and what are the signs that we need to know when cancer is popping up, and what are the causes, especially as regards health and lifestyle. So let's start. Cancer is, let's say, the second most reoccurring chronic or deadly disease globally. Yes, it's the second, or it is almost fast becoming the first now. All right, so what is it about cancer? It's about tumors. It's about growth in the body. And it's, I would call it abnormal. I wouldn't want to go into some scientific explanation, but let me just break it down in simple terms. It's like some abnormal mass that is growing in the body, and it's spreading rapidly around the body. All right, so there are two types of cancers. Oh, before I even talk about two types of cancers, I need to let you know how widespread cancer matters is now globally. All around the globe, at least 19.3 million new occurrence of cancer, is seen all over the globe. As at 2020 and 2021, this is 2022, we don't know how much it's risen beyond that. But as at 2020, global statistics showed that 19.3 million individuals globally is battling with a case of cancer or two. Another, that global statistics also shows that women all over the globe, about 2.3 women have issues with breast cancer. It has to show that about 2.2 million people have issues with lung cancer. Lung cancer used to be the most severe, the most deadly, and the foremost cancer case in the world. But now it seems like breast cancer has gone above lung cancer. We have 2.3 million people, women now, battling with, not just women, there are some men that have issues with breast cancer too. And then we have 2.2 people battling with lung cancer. What about stomach cancer? It's amazing to know, like 1.1 million people as of 2020, statistics shows that, and that 1.9 are battling, with colorectal cancer. We're going to take a short break now, and we'll be back after this break. Stay with me. Welcome back. All right, so still giving us the global statistics, because you could say, why do we need to know all of this? To let you know that if you are battling with this disease condition, or it runs in the family, or you have a friend, they are not alone. A lot of people all over the world have issues with it, and that is why it is a global major health concern. And there are many health bodies here and there. You see this cancer foundation, trying to give people the right information that they may know. And this is also to tell somebody that one of the things that causes this disease condition, you should take note and be on your guard, especially if you have it running in your family, extended or nuclear. All right, so that is why I'm giving us these statistics. Like I said, 19.3 million people all over the globe as of 2020, and are the new cases of cancer. 2.3 breast cancer, women all over the world, and not just women, because some men too do have breast cancer. Yes, 1.9 on some other cancers in the body, like I'd mentioned earlier. So knowing all of this, it makes us understand that this is fast becoming a major global chronic health condition. Now there are different types of cancers. We have the benign. I remember a friend of mine that a nickname was benign, and at that time, we'd not really grown in medical school, so I didn't know what it meant. Benign means harmless. It is not harmful. It is not disturbing anything. It's just there. Now, the benign kind of growths, they have not grown into cancers. They are not spreading. They're just there. They are not harming anything. The only problem that can come with benign types of cancers is if it is obstructing maybe the flow of blood somewhere. is obstructing maybe some lymphatic drainages or whatever. At that point, it can give some major concern. All right, the second one, that is the big guy, that we must try as much as possible to make sure we don't fall prey of this guy, is the malignant cancer. That is the growth. It grows, it keeps growing as your body is growing, as your cells are feeding, it is feeding too. So it's getting bigger, and the thing is that it can spread. These are tumors that can spread to different locations in the body. They can spread from one site of a cell to another. They call that process metastasizing. So the cancer has metastasized and it is widespread. Okay, so those are the two major types of cancers. All right, so what are the things that we need to know about these two types of cancers? What precautions are we meant to take? If you want to get the whole gist of this, then make sure you join me, join Morning Ride next week, Saturday, and you'd have the full gist of what cancer is all about, how to stay guarded and prevent yourself or your household from falling prey. Till we meet, same time, same Morning Ride, same me. I remain your Nutrition Gist Media Queen from the Savage Line. You go, eat to live, and don't live to eat. Bye for now.
Welcome back. Thank you, Tolani, for that information. It's very important that we take good care of our health. If you have someone in your family that has got traces of cancer or was down with cancer, it is better you check yourself. Tolani just told us that cancer is hereditary. Thank you so much for that piece. The next segment on the show is entertainment tidbit. Lateef Adedimeji again in the entertainment world. And this time around, what is he doing? He's playing the role of the Jagaban himself, Bola Tinubu, in a biopic movie, The Last Man Standing. Enjoy entertainment tidbits. We'll be right back.
Glad to have you join us on Entertainment Tidbit on Morning Ride. Nollywood actor Lateef Adedimeji is set to play Bola Tinubu in the show Olokuketuyi's forthcoming biopic, The Last Man Standing. Confirming the role, the actor said, and I quote, "Yes, this will be one of the defining points because this is a tough one. At the end of it all, the man himself is going to have a few things to say about my interpretation and past judgment. I really don't know why I'm always called upon to play these roles. This is going to be my fourth biopic." End of quote. Lateef Adedimeji has featured in 3 biopics, namely Tunde Kelani's Ayela, Ige, Strangers, and now The Last Man Standing. African Magic has announced the appointment of Nigerian filmmaker Victor Okai as the head of judge, nomination, and judging process of the 8th African Magic Viewers' Choice Award, AMVCA, which is set to hold later this year. Victor Kai is a seasoned producer, scriptwriter, cinematographer, director, and currently the National President of Directors Guild of Nigeria. The federal government has directed filmmakers to avoid money ritual contents. This directive was disclosed by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. The filmmakers in the country should avoid making money ritual contents. The minister said many have blamed Nollywood for featuring money rituals in some of its movies, saying this has negatively influenced vulnerable youths. To mitigate this, the minister has directed Nigeria and Film Video Censors Board to take the issue into consideration while performing its role for censoring and classifying films and videos in the country. Moving to new works, Nigerian singer Chike has dropped new visuals for his song titled Mwekoma. Still on new works, here is the official trailer of Biodu Stevens' new movie, A Simple Lie.
Boma, Azim.
I didn't realize you were here too.
Someone was hoping to get some alone time with my woman.
Hey, Mama, baby. How you doing? You called me this morning. You said there is gist. I've come to hear gist. Now I've been at the place. I'll take capture your tone. What happened?
For God's sake, are you blind?
Hey, I beg. Don't talk to me. Little miss, I got married early, so I'm better than everybody. Please.
Shut up!
And the official trailer of award-winning producer MM Isang Misaudi's new movie, Special Jollof.
You want to see my resume?
Can your resume cook ogbono, ewedu, efo riro, efo elegusi?
I'm sorry, I don't know what those are.
I never seen the way they do waitress for Nigerian restaurant before.
Ma.
La.
Hey guys, this is your girl Cherie, and I'm here at this expensive restaurant about to eat some delicious. Thank you. It's not over till 6 p.m. Will you go inside and change back to your uniform? I was belong here before, and I told me.
And that's it on Entertainment Tidbit. Money Right continues shortly.
Welcome back. Oh, so much ado about this jollof rice things. Very interesting movie out there, and I would say you just have to go and watch it. A good one coming from the federal government, because our youth, I don't know what's happening this in this world that we live in now. At times you tend to wonder if we as adults, we were not once youth. But then the federal government is taking the bull by the horn now. They are saying that those in the entertainment industry, the Nollywood industry, they should try as much as possible to avoid content that promotes money rituals or that has gotten anything to do with money rituals. Maybe that is what is affecting our youth. Well, we will keep doing all that is necessary. We will keep doing all that we have to do. And talking about doing all that we have to do to help the youth of Nigeria, it bounces back to your own contribution and my own contribution. When you see something that is wrong, do not just look away. Do the right thing. We were brought up in such a way that when parents those days, they see what is wrong, no matter whose us is God, they bring you, they correct you, and they tell you that, yes, you have done this that is wrong. Let us begin to imbibe that culture again, whereby when you see a youth doing the wrong thing, please try to say something. When a youth is doing the wrong thing, say something. You could be helping the future of that youth. Today, I have been your host on the show. Till we come your way, same time, same station, on Money Right. My name remains Yinka Kenny. See you, same time, same station, and same show. For now, it is bye-bye from me.